What happens when you choose solitude is not what people warn you about. You won't disappear. You won't fall behind. You won't lose relevance. What actually happens is far more dangerous to the world you live in. You start to hear yourself again, and that terrifies a society built on noise. The moment you step away from constant stimulation, something strange happens. The silence feels loud. Your thoughts feel heavy. Your mind starts reaching for escape. That's not weakness. That's withdrawal. You've been trained to consume, to react, to scroll, to fill every empty second with distraction. Solitude breaks that pattern, and the first thing it exposes is how uncomfortable you are with your own mind. People don't avoid solitude because they're busy. They avoid it because it forces honesty. In silence, excuses collapse. In silence, you can't hide behind productivity or entertainment or other people's opinions. There is no audience, no validation, just you and the truth you've been postponing. That truth doesn't whisper, it waits. And when you finally slow down, it speaks clearly. Solitude is where patterns reveal themselves. You start to notice the loops you've been stuck in, the habits you repeat without thinking, the goals you chase without questioning why. When life becomes automatic, you stop steering. Solitude hands the wheel back to you. It forces you to ask the questions that change everything. Where am I going? Why am I here? Is this life aligned with who I actually am? This is why solitude feels threatening. It interrupts momentum that isn't yours. It exposes routines that keep you busy but unfulfilled. It reveals how much of your life has been shaped by reflex instead of intention. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. When you choose solitude, you regain depth. You stop living on the surface of your own existence. You begin to think long-term instead of moment to moment. You stop outsourcing your thinking to trends, timelines, and algorithms. And the cost of that independence is discomfort, because deep thinking requires stillness, and stillness is something most people have forgotten how to survive. In solitude, boredom becomes a gateway. Past the boredom is clarity, past the clarity is purpose. Ideas don't arrive when you're constantly stimulated. They arrive when your mind has room to wander, when you allow space, when you stop filling every silence. That's where vision forms, that's where direction sharpens. Solitude doesn't make you weak, it makes you precise. It strips away what doesn't matter and leaves you face to face with what does. It shows you the difference between movement and progress, between noise and meaning, between being busy and being alive. Most people never choose solitude, and that's why they live lives designed by default. They follow paths they never questioned. They chase goals they never defined. They wake up one day successful on paper and empty inside. Solitude prevents that. Solitude forces alignment before it's too late. If this made you uncomfortable, that's the signal. If this made you pause, that's the invitation. Do not ignore it. Like this video. Subscribe now. Share this with someone drowning in noise. And make the decision today. Choose solitude before life chooses for you. When you stay in solitude long enough, something uncomfortable but necessary begins to happen. You lose your old identity. The version of you that was shaped by other people's expectations starts to dissolve. And that scares people more than failure ever could. At first you feel invisible. No one is watching, no one is clapping, no one is validating your effort. This is where most people run back to noise. They mistake attention for progress. But solitude teaches a brutal truth. Growth doesn't need witnesses. Transformation happens in private long before it shows in public. In solitude, you stop performing. You stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to look successful and start becoming dangerous. Dangerous because you're no longer controlled by approval. Dangerous because you're building something that doesn't rely on external permission. This is where discipline is born, not the loud, motivational kind, the quiet, relentless kind, the kind that doesn't announce itself, the kind that wakes up early without posting about it, the kind that works when no one cares. Solitude trains you to move without applause. And that's why it creates killers in every field. When you're alone, your weaknesses have nowhere to hide. Your laziness, your fear, your inconsistency. Solitude doesn't attack you, it exposes you. And exposure is painful, but pain is information. It tells you exactly where you need to grow. This is also where your standards rise. You stop tolerating nonsense. You stop chasing shallow wins. You stop negotiating with distractions, because once you've tasted clarity, chaos feels expensive. You become selective with your time, your energy, your relationships, not because you're arrogant, but because you finally understand the cost of everything. Solitude sharpens your intuition. You start trusting your gut instead of the crowd. You stop asking everyone for advice and start listening inward. Decisions become cleaner, simpler, faster. You don't need consensus when you have conviction. Most people never reach this stage. They leave solitude too early. They retreat the moment it gets quiet. But the ones who stay, they come back different, calmer, more focused, more dangerous. Because while everyone else was consuming, they were building. Solitude doesn't isolate you from the world. It prepares you to dominate it without losing yourself. If you're still here, you're not afraid of depth. If this resonates, you're already changing. Like this video right now. Subscribe if you're serious about becoming uncommon. Share this with someone who needs strength, not comfort. And remember this: the world is loud because silence creates leaders. Here's the part no one tells you. When you choose solitude long enough, you outgrow people. Not because you're better, but because you're no longer the same. Your conversations change. Your tolerance drops. Your patience for excuses disappears. You stop trying to convince people of your vision because solitude has already convinced you. And once you're convinced, the world doesn't get a vote. This is where confidence stops being loud and becomes immovable. You no longer need motivation every morning. You no longer need inspiration to start. You move because movement is who you are now. Solitude rewires you. Your mind becomes quieter but sharper. Your emotions become calmer but stronger. Your focus becomes narrow but lethal. You don't react anymore, you respond. You don't chase anymore, you attract. You don't beg for opportunities, you create pressure until opportunities have no choice but to find you. And yes, there will be moments where you feel lonely. Moments where doubt whispers, is this worth it? That's the final test. Because right before the breakthrough, solitude gets heavy. Right before the results show, silence feels unbearable. Right before the harvest, most people quit. But if you stay, if you don't run back to distractions, if you don't sell your future for comfort, you become rare. You become the person others study. The person others call lucky. The person others say came out of nowhere. They didn't see the nights alone. They didn't see the discipline without dopamine. They didn't see the self-control when no one was watching. Solitude didn't weaken you. It forged you. And now you walk different. You think different. You demand different. You're no longer waiting for permission. You're no longer explaining your pace. You're no longer negotiating with fear. You know who you are. And once you know that, nothing can stop you except you. So here's the decision. Either you go back to noise, or you commit to becoming unstoppable. If this video hit you like it now, subscribe if you refuse to live average. Share this with someone who's ready to disappear and return dangerous. And don't forget this truth. Solitude doesn't make you lonely. It makes you legendary. Now go earn it.